When you saw this title, you were probably thinking, this must be a joke. That's probably what many people who come across this video will say. North London hasn't seen the Premier League title in about 20 years now. However, the tides are turning and the two powerhouses in North London are at the forefront of winning this year's title race. Before we go on to the why of it, let's quickly wind back a little. Since Arteta arrived at Arsenal, they have been on a steady upward trajectory. He brought back the culture of the club, reunited the fans with the players, and the air at the Emirates is looking the best it has ever been. 3 years into the rebuild, Arteta challenged probably the best manager in the world, Pep Guardiola, and arguably the best team in the world, Manchester City, for the Premier League title. Although they fell short in the end, injuries to key players and a leaky squad were the main reasons behind it. Summer window 2023 presented another opportunity which Arteta and Arsenal pounced upon. The signings of Timber and Rice meant whenever Partey goes on his annual injury leave, they won't be left without cover. On the other side of North London, Spurs are also building a formidable team. Last year wasn't a good year for them as they finished 8th place on the table while failing to bring a trophy home yet again. The appointments of Mourinho and Conte within the last 2 years have failed them. The board was probably expecting a quick fix, but Tottenham's problem was bigger than just hiring a world-class manager and expecting magic. They, however, realized this and opted for a rebuild last summer. The first item on the rebuild agenda was the appointment of Ange Postecoglou. The sale of Harry Kane raised funds to address the problems in their squad, and they are looking stronger than ever. Ange has completely revitalized the Spurs team with his tactical experience and expertise. But before we move on, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. Moving on, the former Celtic manager has Spurs at the top of the Premier League, 8 game weeks into the season. One may assume an easy run of fixtures may be the reason, but Ange has beaten fellow title contenders Liverpool and a draw at the Emirates to their North London neighbours Arsenal. They are at the top with 6 wins, 2 draws and 0 losses. To put that into perspective, Spurs alongside Arsenal are the only teams yet to lose a Premier League game this season. Back to Arsenal. Arsenal also have a similar record as their derby rivals. They have also defeated the likes of Manchester United and Manchester City for the first time in 8 years, leaving them at 20 points, which is the exact number Spurs have currently, and Arsenal are second on the Premier League table. The win against Manchester City goes to show the mentality of the new Arsenal team, and they could probably go all the way this year. Despite this, the presence of Manchester City and Liverpool, who are more experienced in winning titles, cannot be undermined. However, Liverpool is still in a rebuild after losing some of their key players in the last 2 years. They currently play without a defensive midfielder, which will probably tell soon on them as the season progresses. Also, Manchester City are always the favourite for the Premier League title every year. The citizens have been quite impressive so far, even without their star player Kevin De Bruyne. Picking up an injury in game week 1, KDB will more than likely spend a major part of the season on the sidelines. This provides an added advantage for the two clubs in North London, mounting a charge for the title. Ange is experienced with winning league titles. The former Celtic manager won 2 league titles in Scotland before his move to North London. Although the levels may not be similar, the experience is undeniable. Also, Arteta and Arsenal will learn from mistakes they made towards the end of last season. Without repetition of said mistakes from Arsenal and more resilience from the Spurs team, there will be a celebration galore in North London come May next year. However, if it comes to North London, that means one side tastes defeat and the other victory. So, who do you think is winning the Premier League title this year? Arsenal, Tottenham, or maybe another team? Let me know in the comments. And if you think North London winning the title is crazy, you are in for a surprise because Messi might come back to Barca. Now, you have to check that out.